Welcome back, dear viewers, and you're still watching The Breakfast Show on Now TV International. As we said earlier on the first segment of the show, we're going to be talking about Gaza. A lot of people, thousands of people are being displaced, and a lot of bodies are being carried out from under the rubble, and the genocide war continues, and efforts and developments are being held in regards of reaching a ceasefire in Gaza. And to follow up on the recent developments regarding the Israeli genocide war, we're most delighted to have with us Mr. Hassan Wageeh. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. We're very happy to have you with us and talking about a very critical topic like this. We need to know, or we need to hear from you about your assessment on the Israeli genocide war in Gaza after nearly a year and a couple of months of aggression.
Of course, the stance of most of the fair-minded people in the world is totally and very decisively against this genocide war, and Israel has got a lot of reputation of the claim, the propaganda they propagate. Now the truth is never a lie, and this is not in the interest of anyone in this area, and I think this could be slided into some other forms of conflict, but no one wants it. But the behavior of the Israelis should come back to sense, should come back to fair-minded thinking. Absolute victory is a possibility, because this is the nature of things. If you try to make people submissive and to dominate and to practice it triggers the reaction differently. It triggers the human reaction. And how about this area, which is loaded with a lot of ideologies, a lot of obstacles at times? I hope that Egypt's efforts are to be welcomed along with now the United States, now with other mediators, who try to mediate, because in Egypt we are mediator, but we are partner forces and parties that could be affected by this conflict severely, and we had already established and we have already took the strategic path of.
Yes, and what about the, why do you think are the main reasons behind Israel's brutality, especially its aggression on the hospitals, recently the Kamal Adwan hospital and what has happened there? How do you evaluate this?
Actually, objective analysts said that this is a type of colonialism, a settling of colonialism, displacing colonialism that needs to be resisted, of course, rejected, of course, because what's happening is so inhuman. And when you are attacking hospitals in that direction for another ground plan for displacement, I think that they are escalating the situation not in their interest, and of course not the interest of anyone in there.
Okay, so actually Egypt and Qatar collaborated together and they talked about the urge or the need to reach a ceasefire in Gaza. And in the meeting, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, said he kept pushing, actually, and he kept hindering the meeting and not trying to reach a ceasefire until he kept pushing forward until January 20. Why do you think is that with actually the U.S. President waiting for the U.S. President to take place or to take over? How do you see this?
Actually, yes. You know, the 20th of January will witness the coming of the newcomer to the White House, President Donald Trump. And President Donald Trump said that he wants to achieve peace not only in the Middle East but also in Ukraine-Russian war. So so he wanted to assume the role of the man of peace, which is a welcome role to play in a world that is in very bad need for peace and stability for everyone. But Netanyahu is using this period to continue escalating his plans for displacement, for other ground plans for domination, and for other, and he is afraid of his own future, because he is already, if he stops this war, he is in danger, as many analysts proved it. So I hope that everyone would come back to senses, and I think that peace and stability is for the interest of everyone.
What are your expectations for the ceasefire talks?
Actually, when it comes to the Egyptian side, Egypt is exhausting all possible avenues and opening the floor for any new ideas, any things that would trigger moves in the right direction. This is Egyptian foreign policy is about these days. And I hope that there will be a positive response to this strategic patience of Egypt, this exhausting of all possible avenues. Let us be having a problem solving by all parties, including the United States of America and other partners in mediation.
How do you actually evaluate the Egyptian efforts in trying to reach a ceasefire for this past year? We've been holding meetings and actually hosting meetings as well, and having a lot of calls in trying to reach a ceasefire. So how do you evaluate these efforts?
Yes, it is consistent efforts with Egypt's strategic orientation. Egypt doesn't want escalation. Egypt doesn't want wars in this area. Egypt wants cooperation and sustainable development. It's very clear from the statements of the Egyptian leadership in all its levels. So I don't think that anybody can have a different view about the containment level Egypt is exerting, the strategic patience and continuation to work on trying to find ways and find fair ways for getting this ceasefire achieved, and not only this fire, actually the root of the problem. Egypt is calling for solving the root of the problem, the two-state solution, the rights of the Palestinians, the implementation of all international resolutions that came out from all over the world, the feeling of the overwhelming majority of the international community should be there. It should be the will should be achieved. I think eventually it will be achieved, inshallah.
How do you think it will be achieved?
By continuing these efforts, and by, I think that in the 20th of January, we will have another
President,
summit to the
US
team.
President,
And, yes.
Well, what do you think the US President will actually do in regards of this dilemma? With the US actually being the upper hand in this situation and having the authority to actually end this conflict?
Again, could you tell me something wrong with the communication? Could you tell me the question again, please?
With the U.S. actually having the upper hand or having the authority to actually end this conflict between Israel and Hamas, what do you think can happen with Donald Trump taking over next month?
Actually, as we have already analyzed the statements made by Trump, I think that he will have effective role in doing something for the interest of everybody in the area. But again, let us understand that President Donald Trump's statements and moves sometimes and so many cases could not be predicted. So, but through the statements made by him and through the good relations with the United States, I think that there should be some good moves to be achieved, hopefully.
He said before that we should actually develop a Palestinian state, unarmed state, on several parts of the Palestinian land. How do you see this?
Actually, this is very important topic to be left for the hands of the Palestinians themselves to say the word regarding their future. But Egypt is working for peace, and we don't want more escalation, and we don't want the crisis to be divided into much worse situation. But when it comes to the Palestinians,
sorry, Dr. Hassan, can you move? We can't hear you very well. We can't hear you very well.
Now you hear me quite?
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yes, can you repeat what you said again, please?
Yeah, we said that we leave the Palestinians to say their word when it comes to their future. And I think that Egypt is exerting a great deal of effort to get all the Palestinian factions together here in Cairo so as to have a united stance, and this is their future and they have to decide about it.
Okay, so moving to Syria, actually, what are your expectations for the country?
Actually, what happened as an Arab citizen, I feel very sad for what happened. I'm sad about dictatorship. I'm sad about the reaction to dictatorship. I am sad about destruction of the facilities and the army of Syria. Of course, nobody can agree on this. I'm not happy about the Israelis occupying new posts in the country. I have heard that they have already tried some dangerous weapons in this area.
Yes.
And I don't think this is for the sake of anyone, because this would trigger reactions that is not in the interest of anyone.
Yes, of course. Dr. Hassan Wageeh, Professor of Political Science, thank you so much for being with us and for giving us this valuable information. Dear viewers, a short break and we'll be right back.